There it goes. Sup, Ned? It is Kirk, and we're going to talk some comic books from this past week. Sorry, the video is a little late. My life has been hectic and crazy. That's okay though. Hopefully, we've got comic books to level us out, and that is the coolest thing about being a giant nerd about comic books. This week was awesome. Look at this stack. It's more than just a lot of great comics coming out. By the way, this is for the past week of August 17th for New Comic Book Day, people. And this week was the week for indies. Indies fucking ruled my stack, and I'm really excited for that. So we're just gonna we're gonna do something. I'm just gonna do a quick little yes for a couple of titles, and we'll dive into the indies because I really want to talk about that. By the way, this is called Comic Picks and Predictions. It's just a little video vlog series I do where we talk about comic books that came out this past week. I give you a quick little opinion and rundown of what you should be reading, what you should be avoiding. Also, trying to highlight comic books that would normally not be on your radar that you guys should be trying to check out. So yeah, let's just get right into this. Let's see. Officially, we're going to start with major publishers. Batman, number 5, Tom King. Officially, Ultimates, number 10. We're going with Ewing. Still one of my favorite series, but with the inconsistency and art duties this issue, And then Jason Aaron, Mighty Thor, number 10. Still an amazing series. Still so wonderfully thought out. I really refuse to believe that he didn't have all this planned going back 3 years when before Jane Foster was even thought to be going to be a Thor. This art's so awesome. It's a little dominatrixy. And officially, I'm going to go with holy shit, why aren't you reading this? The Mighty Thor with Jane Foster is amazing. This issue also ends with a fantastic cliffhanger where maybe we were all misled and Jane Foster is not Thor. Why aren't you reading this fucking title? So that was the majors. But let's get right into the stuff that I really want to talk about this week. The indies. Guys, Black Hammer, number 2 by Jeff Lemire. This series is definitely as strong, or it's proving to be as strong as the first issue was a few weeks ago. What is the premise for Black Hammer? There's the bell for your mom's basement. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Dude, it is essentially, it's really creepy, it's great, and it's spooky. I'm loving the art. It is definitely adding to the really cool atmosphere of mystery that he has created for the story with these heroes. But that's why I'm describing it right now. It's almost like Doom Patrol and like old school Doom Patrol with like very weird, strange, off-kilter characters, but they're definitely out of their element. Apparently something happened where they were able to save the world, but then they were transplanted to maybe an alternate universe, or we're not quite sure what, or a different time. And it's kind of like this small like farm town that, I would kind of consider like maybe Superman grew up in, and they can't leave it. They don't know why they can't leave it. So it's almost like they're under witness protection, but they are trying to live out their lives, and it's not necessarily like the thing that everyone's looking forward to. Like there's the little young lady who's like 11 years old, but the truth is her powers are very much like in sync with like Shazam. So she's actually like in her 70s or 80s, but she's being forced to go to school and pretend that she's still like a kindergarten or a elementary school student. It is an awesome, awesome title. And I'm really kind of just digging like the WTF vibe of it. As you guys know, I've been just singing the praises of Jeff Lemire over the last year. The guy is just on a roll. Another comic I really want to point out, it's by one of my favorite writers, Chris Sabella. We'll talk about some of the other stuff he's done. This is Demonic. It is issue number 1. It is put out by Image Comics. The concept was created by Mark Silvestri and Robert Kirkman. So right there, you've got a really good idea. Chris Sabella is the one who's penning the story, and he personally is one of my favorite writers right now. He actually did some Captain Marvel work with Kelly Sue DeConnick. He's doing a lot more indie stuff now. Let's talk about those titles really quickly. He did We All Come Back, or Welcome Back, or We All Come Back. Please go check that title out. It's Scott Pilgrim meets Highlander. It's fucking badass. What's another title that he's doing? Well, right now he's doing another one called Heartthrob, which was like that very Fight Club meets 70s crime gangster like bank heist. That one's been really good too. Again, under the radar, titles that I wish people were checking out. But Demonic, the reason why I'm definitely highlighting this thing is that one, I think Sabella is one of my favorite writers who's incredibly underrated right now. He's also the guy that decided to live in a clown motel next to a graveyard for 30 days and wrote a book about it. Art is Nico Walter, and I think the coloring is Dan Brown. Let me try to find a really good... By the way, we do these videos live. No editing. Sorry, guys. So right away, we get introduced to a couple police detectives, and they show up to a crime scene, and it looks like a completely normal, innocuous woman who happens to have dead bodies, pictures of a lot of her victims all over the wall, and another like torso with no limbs or legs or anything else attached to it hiding in the room. And she attacks our detective, talking of like a mysterious entity, I want to say, called Novo. And come to find out that for whatever reason, the detective actually remembers that or has memories of who Novo is, but doesn't want to actually deal with it. His home life isn't the greatest right now. He and his wife are definitely dealing with the issues that they have a very sick daughter. We're not quite sure why. And there's this mysterious figure that shows up. And the entire time I'm reading this comic, do you guys remember 6 of oh no, I forgot her name, but Battlestar Galactica, the amazing blonde who was always the figment of the imagination, but she was a Cylon. She's kind of like that throughout the series, because she presents a deal to the detective that essentially, you're going to kill for me, or I start taking away everything that you love and hold dear in your life. Here's the problem with this. This is a really great series, and I want you guys to check it out. Especially if you're an Ed Brubaker fan, especially if you love what Brubaker and Phillips do. So if you're like a fan of Fatal, that sort of thing, this is definitely up your alley. I feel very bummed out for this series because it's coming out right off the heels of Kill or Be Killed, the other Brubaker series, which was a fantastic first issue. And I'm a little afraid that the concepts are a little too close together. So if you read that and then you read this, you'll be like, I see what you're saying, Kirk. And I really do enjoy, I'm going to finish the series. It is fantastic. But at some point, the guy goes from like, I'm a detective, I can't kill people for you, to like, hi, I'm a scary murder machine with giant claws. I'm really into it. I'm really excited to read this. And also, like I said, Sabella is one of my favorite writers currently that you're not reading. You should go check out his titles. What else are we gonna do? Oh, we're gonna talk about this in a second, but not yet. Let's talk about Brian Wood. He's been writing some really good stuff right now. He's also doing Black Road for Image Comics. But this is the newest one he's doing. Brian Wood, called Briggs Land. This one is Dark Horse Comics. And it's really nice to see Dark Horse taking chances and doing more creator-owned stories again, kind of falling in line with that kind of trend, if you want to say, kind of like Image Comics. So I'm really excited that they're getting like a lot of these really great creators on board. Briggs Land, basically, right off the bat, it takes place modern day. And if you're a fan of like Sons of Anarchy, I think this would be up your alley. It's essentially, it's about a family, and I don't want to say they're necessarily a cult, but they're definitely like white, Aryan, supremacist, racist people who kind of created their own compound back in the day, so that it was like literally not a part of the United States. It's like their own like sovereign like thing, but they're also kind of like a mafia family, but like in the Midwest. So it's a little weird and strange, but the dialogue is awesome, and it's about a woman. She's the wife of the family Don, the husband that controls like the gang family, but he's in jail doing a lifetime or a life sentence, and I think literally for like trying to kill the president. So he didn't pull that off. He's in jail now, and he's still running like the crime, the family, and all the organization from jail. And finally, one day, his wife visits him in jail and goes, "You know what? Fuck you. I run the family now." So right now, it's literally like her starting a civil war with her own crime mob, Midwestern crime family, and like her son's just back from Afghanistan. It's really compelling, believe it or not. I'm really into this. And the main character, I just constantly like I see and hear Julianne Moore. I don't know why, but I think she'd be perfect for it. And as I'm reading the series, that's definitely who I'm picturing and voicing in this comic. Guys, please check this out. I like Brian Wood, and I'm really glad this is a really cool original story. Also, man, I love the colors, the color palette to show off exactly where they are and what time of day it is, and the action that's going on is fantastic. What else? The art doesn't. It's exactly what the story needs. There's nothing like amazing about the art, or there's nothing amazing about like, oh, they went with a different art style. It's the reason it's amazing is because it's perfect for the tone of the story. So I'm really into that. Also, fantastic dialogue, and it is gritty. It's good crime, gritty, crime. It's gritty crime. It's gritty crime. So please go check that out. Briggsland. What else are we on? Let's see. Yeah, let's get to it really quickly. Grant Morrison's Klaus, basically Santa Year 1 wrapped up. It was amazingly sweet. Go check that out, or at least like this far into the game if you didn't. The trade paperback, I'm sure, will be out in the next few weeks. It was fantastic. Also, Jeff Lemire, Descender. This is issue number 14. I love this series. You know me. I keep raving about it. It's also Dustin Nugent doing just beautiful watercolors. Just beautiful watercolors. Look at that. It's just haunting and desolate, and it's perfect for the story. But this is I'm frustrated with this issue because it flashes back to Tim's like last days on the mining moon before the family took off when the robots decided to attack the humans. So it's a lot of that, and how the poor little like robot dog had to survive and keep himself occupied during that time because he was literally the only thing left that was operational. So the flashback is great, and then when the story brings itself back to where we are currently in the story now, we've been there for 3 issues. We need to move it along. We need to kind of move on to the next thing. So it's a hauntingly beautiful and sweet issue, and that makes it great. But it's also frustrating that we're not advancing the story a little bit. I'm sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, Wiki and Divine, number 22. All hell has broken loose. I'm going to try to do this without doing spoilers because I actually did some spoilers in my last time we were talking about Wiccan and Divine. And not even in the comments, people direct message me like, you son of a bitch. So I'm sorry. I am so sorry. I didn't realize that spoilers for Wiccan and the Divine is right up there with talking about Game of Thrones in public. Like, you just don't. But one, this cover is absolutely beautiful. Check that out. 2, it is still just as good and fantastic as it's been. If you've been following the series, you know that shit's on. This whole arc has been action-packed, but it's been amazing to watch all the gods in all their glory doing their thing. Like I said, I'm not trying to be careful not to ruin anything going back, so we're not... Ananke is trying to do some ritual sacrifice on poor little Minerva. Will they survive? Who knows? But this issue goes there. And what you think is how the series would have ended, and some people like had predictions, might actually be this issue. That stuff happens in this issue, but it's not the end. That's the best part. Like, what could have been the end for the series literally ends on a cliffhanger where they're like, so what do we do next? And you know the story's not over. And I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about that because Wiccan Divine is fantastic. It is so glorious. So go back, grab the trades, start doing this. Again, I won't spoil, but all hell is breaking loose. It's the gods in their greatest glory, and the Pantheon is really starting to see what's happening and what's coming into focus. And who Persephone is totally revealed in this issue. Fucking do it. Alrighty, guys, that's pretty much the stuff I really wanted to talk about this week. There's a lot of other things, but like I said, those were the highlights, and it was a very heavy indie week, and that is fucking cool. What else do we talk about? Pick some predictions. So next week we've got Snot Girl #2 by Brian Lee O'Malley. Let's meet back here next week and talk about it and see if I was right or wrong. I'm pretty sure that after that cliffhanger from the first issue, we're going to start to see things get a little bit more interesting, and what the actual comic is about is going to start to come in focus. Because honestly, we don't really necessarily know what it's about yet. Also, the other thing that I want you guys to check out is the Omega Men trade paperback. And if I got this figured out already, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I think this is the one that that King, who's also doing the new Batman series and the Vision and Sheriff of Babylon. This is a series he just wrapped up for DC Comics. I read the first 4 issues and fell in love with it. It follows Kyle Rayner, one of the Green Lanterns. Let's check that out. That trade paperback comes out and it was phenomenal, and I'm really excited to finish reading the story because it was so good. It was like, I need to binge this. So yeah, those are my predictions for next week. Meet back here and we'll see if I was right about those. In any case, things I should tell you about, please find me on Twitter at Kirk Like Stuff. That's where I do a lot of my comic book happenings and talkings and thinkings and just verbal blah, 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 about comic books. Also, meet me back here this Sunday for Your Mom's Basement. It is an interactive comic book club book thing. We don't know what to really call it, but we know that we're building the community. We all get together, and it's people who genuinely love comic books. We go over the rest of this week's releases, and we also pick one book. We talk about it at length. This week is Day Tripper. Definitely check that out. So we'll meet you guys back here. Also, the big thing about that is that we do that live. And yeah, there's a live chat, and the chat's very much a part about the show. And if you miss it, that's okay. The episodes get archived on the YouTube channel. So that's fine. And what else? Is there anything else I need to talk to you guys about? I think that's it. I think that's pretty much it. This is the weird part, the call to actions. Guys, if you dug this, like the video, please subscribe, maybe even share it with some of your other comic book friends. That would be very, very cool. In any case, I will see you back here about this time, Thursday or Friday next week, and we'll talk about my predictions. Were they right? And we'll talk about other issues that come out that week. Also, comments down below. Is there something I should have highlighted? Is there something that I'm reading that I'm not? Is there something you're reading that you really want us to talk about? Let's kind of do that. Alrighty, guys. See you next week. Bye. Yeah, I should probably actually get the cursor ready when I'm ready to end the. It's a thing. I'll see you guys later.